Islam.
Islam.
Today we're going to go over the 101's questionnaire, the Moorish symbol of America. When I was taught Moorish science, when I first came across Moorish science back in '07 while incarcerated, one of the sheiks had taught me, who I come find out was a real adept. He told me that they call the 101's keys. And he said that keys have a specific function and they unlock doors. That's what keys do. They unlock doors. So this is the 101 questionnaire. Let me see one of y'all Moorish leaders. I want to show them on the 101's the questionnaire. You see a picture of Prophet Noble Ali standing 1 foot on solid ground and the other foot on the water, the cares of the world, the rock of salvation. And he's holding a woman and around the womb it says humanity. This is the same Noble Ali as we will find in the 101. They say that he is the angel of Allah. He is also the same angel that they talk about in Revelations, the 10th chapter. I'm going to read that real quick. Read that real quick before we go into Revelation 10th chapter. And it was talking about the angel and the little scroll. And starting with verse 1, he said, "Then I saw another mighty angel coming down from heaven. He was robed in a cloud with a rainbow above his head. His face was like the sun, and his legs were like fiery pillars. He was holding a little scroll, which lay open in his hand. He planted his right foot on the sea, and his left foot on the land. And he gave a loud shout, like a roar of a lion. When he shouted, the voices of 7 thunders spoke. And when the 7 thunders spoke, I was about to write, but I heard a voice from heaven saying, 'Seal up what the 7 thunders have said, and do not write it down.'" So Noble Ali, he was that angel that they talked about here in the 10th chapter of Revelation. Left foot on the land, right foot in the water, as I showed you on the cover of that questionnaire. So we're gonna go into those. Feel free, join in if you want to. Got any questions, or if you have anything you want to add, just feel free to hop in. Key number 1, he said, "Who made you?" And the answer is Allah. And then it said, "Who is Allah?" Allah is the Father of the universe. One thing I like to look into that is that he is the Father of the universe. He is the Father of the you and I verse. He is the Father of our story. He is the author and the finisher of our faith. He made us. It was him that made us, and not we ourselves. You know. And I'm mighty glad that, you know, that our story is in God's hand. And you know, when we say Allah, he's the same as in any other religion. Yahweh, Jehovah. You know, he's triune. But all men don't see him the same. And I think it would be ridiculous for one religion to say that their God is real and the God in the other religion is not real. I've studied every religion, and all of them point to one supreme creator. No matter what you call him, he is who he is. He is the causeless cause and the rootless root. No finite mind can comprehend something that's so infinite as he is. You know, He is everything. We say Allah because he's the all. You know, he's everything. Because he made everything. Like I said, he's the father of the you and I verse, the universe, our story. You know, that's why I say I'm thankful that I'm in his hands. You know, and you should be thankful that you're in his hands because he governs all events. You know, a lot of people don't even realize how you be making it through hard times. It's because you in his hand. Even when Jesus fed the 5,000, it said he took the bread, blessed it, and he broke it. You know. Sometimes God has to break you in order to bless you. And a lot of people be wondering, you know, will people be so broken up and going through whatever? You're in his hands because the bread was what? Still in his hands. And you know what? And if Jesus, if the bread would have stayed in the little boy's hand, or if the bread would have stayed in the disciples' hand, it never would have been enough. But Jesus said, give it to me. He added and subtracted, divided and multiplied. You know what I'm saying? He's the author of everything. He took nothing and made something, and took something and made all things. You know. He took silicone and oxygen and made dirt. Took dirt and made dust. Took the dust and made a man. Took the man and made a woman. Took the man and woman and made all men. He's got some miraculous hands. He even took helium and hydrogen and made the sun. Took the sun and gave us light. Took the light and made energy. Made the heat. You know. What else? Took angiosperm. And made a seed. Took the seed and made a sprout. Took the sprout, made a bush. Took the bush, made a brush. Took the brush and made a tree. You know? He's the author of everything. It said, can we see him? No. But where's the nearest place we can meet him? In the heart. We can't see him, but we can see everything that he has made. His manifestations. And the nearest place for us to meet him is in the heart. That's why when the disciples asked Jesus to teach them how to pray, he was like, you know, don't be like the hypocrites, you know, in synagogues, you know, long, elaborate prayers and stuff. But he said to go into your closet, you know. That wasn't a physical closet, but it was a closet of your mind. You know, because he's on the inside. Whatever you be calling on, you already contain it. That's why he said faith without works is dead already. Even when Jesus healed certain ones in the Bible, it was their faith and their action what healed. The man by the pool that was laying on the bed, nobody was able to put him in. Jesus said, take up your bed and walk. The man with the withered hand that Jesus healed in the synagogue, he told the man to stretch forth. You know, so whatever you calling on, you already contain. He is in you. He is in all of us. That's why I say, how can you hate? You know, how can you love a God who you've never seen before? But yet you see your brother every day, you despise him. You know, when man honors man, he honors Allah.
Get on.
What you do for man, you do for Allah. Because he's in all of us. And man speaks to man. Allah speaks to man through man. Because he's in us. We're truth and falsehood strangely mixed. You know. Key 5, it said, who is Noble Drew Ali? He is Allah's prophet. Number 6, what is a prophet? A prophet is a thought of Allah manifested in the flesh. 7, what is the duty of a prophet? And the answer is to save nations from the wrath of Allah. That's why God prepares prophets to warn the nations and to save them from the wrath of Allah. And we know that he sends a prophet to his same kindred. When we look on the front of our circle 7, you got the circle with the 7 with the brackets around it. You know, those 4 brackets: Buddha, Confucius, Jesus, Muhammad. And Noble Drew Ali, the 7, is in the middle. You know, he sent Buddha to the Indians. You know, the Indians. Confucius to the Chinese. Muhammad to the Arabs. Jesus to the Jews. And Noble Drew Ali to the Asiatics here in North America. You know, he sends a prophet to his people. Speak the same language. You know, that knows of their troubles and calamities. You know what I mean? That's been our problem here as being Asiatics. Before Noble Drew Ali, we were looking outside of ourselves for a savior. We strayed after the gods of Europe, of whom we knew nothing about. You know. He said, who is the founder of the Moorish Temple of America? And the answer is Noble Drew Ali. What year was the Moorish Temple of America founded? It's 1913 AD. It's a Canaanite temple. It said where? In Newark, New Jersey. In Newark, New Jersey. Kind of put in mind of a New Jerusalem, New Jersey, New Jerusalem, Newark, New Ark, a covenant, a new covenant, a New Jerusalem. What they be talking about in Revelation? 11, where was Noble Drew Ali born? In the state of North Carolina, 1886. He was born in the state. Also, when he was born in that state of mind back then, because slavery was just about. So he knew the conditions of our people. He was born in the state of North Carolina, 1886. What is his nationality? Moorish American. 13, what is your nationality? Moorish American. 14, it said, why are we Moorish Americans? Because we are descendants of Moroccans and born in America. 15, for what purpose was the Moorish Temple of America founded? For the uplifting of fallen humanity. 16, how did the prophet begin to uplift Moorish Americans? By teaching them to be themselves. The purpose was for the uplifting of fallen humanity. And how he uplifted us was by teaching us to be ourselves, which is Moorish American, and not black, Negro, colored, African American, because that is what debased us, you know. Clinging on to those names that delude to slavery. Because they said, who made you? Allah. And if we're Moorish Americans and descendants of the ancient Moabites, descendants of Moroccans born in America, then how can we be black? Negro, black, colored, African American. Taking on those names rightfully debased us. You know, they say that the mentality of the Moors was reduced to that of Negroes, blacks, and colored. The mentality. We've been called that for so long that, you know, we're trying to be that. You know. A lot of people like, you acting black. How do you be black? How do you be Negro? They have no rights that anybody is bound to respect. You know. And it said, what is our religion? Number 17, what is our religion? It says Islam-ism. And we know that Islam is the study of peace. Islam means peace. Let me read a little insert in the Moorish literature. It says, what is Islam? Islam is a very simple faith. It requires man to recognize his duties toward God Allah, his creator, and his fellow creatures. It teaches the supreme duty of living at peace with one's surroundings. It is preeminently the religion of peace. The very name Islam means peace. The goal of man's life, according to Islam, is peace with everything. Peace with Allah and peace with man. The Koran, the holy book of Islam, tells us that the final abode of man is the house of peace, where no vain word or sinful discourse will be heard. The holy divine prophet, Noble Ali, says that a follower of Islam, in the true sense of the word, is one whose hands, tongue, and thoughts do not hurt others. Let me repeat. Noble Ali says that a follower of Islam, in the true sense of the word, is one whose hands, tongue, and thoughts do not hurt others. Object of man's life, according to Islam, is its complete unfoldment. Islam teaches that man is born with unlimited capacities for progress. Islam does not support the idea that man was born in sin. It teaches that everyone has within him the seed of perfect development, and it rests solely with himself to make or mar his fortune. That's where the free will comes in at. Every seed is perfect because we come from him. He made everything. He said it was good. Everything that he created, he said it was good. But through our actions and stuff, that's why we create our own heaven and hell. The things that we say and we do, we create our own heaven and hell. The cardinal doctrine of Islam is the unity of the Father Allah. We believe in one God, Allah, who is all God, all mercy, and all power. He is perfect and holy, all wisdom, all knowledge, and all truth. These are some of his great attributes so far as we can see. He is free from all defects, holy and transcendent. He is personal to us insofar as we see his attributes working for us and in us. But he is nevertheless impersonal because he is infinite, perfect, holy, We do not believe that death, decay, or sleep overtake him. Neither do we believe that he is a helplessly inactive and inert force. Nothing happens without his knowledge and will. He neither begets nor is begotten, because these are the trails of frail and weak humanity. This unity of Allah is the first and foremost pillar of Islam, and every other belief hangs upon it. So yeah, Islam is peace. And on this Circle 7 bracket, all of these divine prophets brought the same message. Peace. Peace. I don't know why different denominations be knocking each other. You know, that's because a lot of them don't even study for themselves to rightfully know. You know, they just go by what somebody else done told them. That's why man knows not by being told. You got to be what he knows. That's why you got to study to show yourself approved. They said, what is Islam? What is our religion, Islamism? Is that a new or is that an old time religion? It's an old time religion. You know, this ain't no new message that I'm bringing. This is the old time. What they say in church, giving that old time religion. It was good enough for my grandmama and them, it was good enough for me. It's the old time religion. First law that was enacted in creation was peace. Islam. Because what it say, in the beginning God created heaven and the earth was without form and void. And darkness was upon the face of the deep. So in other words, in the beginning there was a bunch of chaotic matter. Allah established law. Peace. Then he separated the land and the water. And y'all know the story. But yeah, Islam was from the beginning. Peace. Christianity was instituted by Rome. That's not the old time religion. You know, that came about after they crucified our brother Jesus. You know. But our religion is Islamism. Islam. You know. Islam. And I think I've said it on another video that, you know, any Christian, you know, want to debunk what I'm saying, just Google the Christian Black Codes of 1724. We in the age of Aquarius. You know, you can see for yourself that the second article, it said that the slave masters are to impart religion upon the slaves. And then that third article after that, it said that the Roman Catholic creed, you know, will be the one. So they force this Christianity upon you. The Christ is in all of us, but the actual institution of Christianity is from the Romans. 19, what kind of flag is the Moorish? It is a red flag with a 5-pointed green star in the center. And it said, what do the 5 points represent? Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. 5 highest principles known to man. Then 21, it said, how old is our flag? It said it is over 10,000 years. It is over 10,000 years. The Bible gives us, you know, a lot of scholars say 6,000 years of existence. This flag was flown before then. We were in government. Oh, the flag represents a government, a state. Every nation state has a flag. It's not just the flag of a temple or a church or just to have in your back pocket. That's the flag of a nation, government. All the patriarchs that you read in the Bible, those were heads of governments. So I don't know why, I don't know. But that's the flag of a state. We've been in power before. We failed. We failed. 22, it said, which is our holy day? It's Friday. Why? Because Friday is the day on which man was formed in flesh, and it was on a Friday when he departed out of flesh. And we also know that Venus, which is the star right here, Venus is the planet that rules Friday. 24, who was Jesus? He was a prophet of Allah. Where was he born? In Bethlehem of Judah, in the house of David. 26, who were his father and mother? Joseph and Mary. 27, will you give in brief the line, genealogy through which Jesus came? And the answer is, some of the great fathers through which Jesus came are Abraham, Boaz by Ruth, Jesse, King David, Solomon, Hezekiah, and Joseph by Mary. This is a royal bloodline. You are from a royal bloodline. When you take on that title, El Abay, those are titles of nobility, royalty. You know, we fell from royalty. Royalty, a line of kings. And when I said Jesus was king of the Jews, he was from the house of David. He was from that bloodline, that genealogy, the house of David. 28, why did Allah send Jesus to this earth? And the answer is to save the Israelites from the iron hand oppression of the pale-skinned nations of Europe who were governing a portion of Palestine at that time. And we know that the same thing is going on now. Rome is governing this portion over here. Our prophet was a reincarnation of Jesus to save his people from this iron hand oppression of the pale-skinned nation. You know, because we've been oppressed for a long time. 29, how long has that been? About 2,000 years ago. He said, what was the nationality of Ruth? Ruth was a Moabitess. What is the modern name for Moabites? Moroccans. Where is the Moroccan Empire? Northwest of Mexam. What is the modern name for Mexam? Africa. So us being here in northwest of Mexam, this is northwest Africa. If you was to take the globe, if you look at the globe, the map, you can see how you can fit the continents together, Africa and all that, to the Americas. It's like a puzzle. It's separated due to a great earthquake. It separated the lands. You know, he was getting us conscientious. You know, we didn't come from like the Africa over there. We was like already here. We was already here. It's actually Morocco you standing on. Al Morocco. America. You know. But see, they had to take away your nationality and stuff, have you thinking that you came up over there to detach you from the land. We still trying to get on ships and go back over there. For what? And if those were our people, you know, who we trying to claim that we're part of, how come they never came and rescued us? Y'all don't ever think about that. That's why I said if I can get you to thinking, you can save yourself. Even when you get arrested, go to jail. They don't deport you to Africa like they do Mexicans to Mexico or Italians back to Italy.